Akademiks can't ride no wave.
I'll do this. This will probably be my last topic for tonight, chat. Again, I'm a little jet lagged. You're gonna have to forgive me. I just wanted to come on here and just kind of let you know we're back to doing our daily streams. So forgive me a little bit. We're gonna get into the Jay-Z interview tomorrow. I got to give you a good breakdown for that. I'm gonna do the Jimmy Henchman stuff as well. I just didn't want to, I don't want to half-ass it tonight. Tiger Woods was involved in a car crash recently on Friday. And apparently, according to the eyewitness, it was a two-car accident. And apparently, it looks like one of the the vehicle that he was in was actually rolled over and it was on his side. The picture of it seems to be here. Okay? Now, Tiger Woods, he got arrested due to this. At first, people wondered if, maybe somebody hit his car. But now we get to find out that essentially Tiger Woods may have been intoxicated or somehow driving under the influence. Now, this is a really convoluted thing, but they're saying that, here it goes. It says Donald Trump Jr. has some concerns following his arrest since the golfer is dating his ex-wife. All right, anyway, why is this about him? Hold on. Okay. I'm trying to get okay. They said, so here's the interesting part about it, right? They're saying Woods crashed his Land Rover as he attempted to pass a truck and he clipped the trailer on it, causing his vehicle to flip on its side. They're saying police said that Woods showed some signs of impairment. This is interesting. But he was arrested after he refused a urine test. Now, that's leading to DUI charges and a refusal to submit to a lawful test. Now, this is really interesting to me, chat. Tiger Woods gets pulled over, or not pulled over. He crashed his car. The car flipped on the side. Clearly, he's not injured too crazy. He does have an injury that's preventing him from playing golf at this moment. But when the police show up on the scene, and if they show up to the scene, they're usually going to, if the accident looks too crazy, they might be like, yo, we want to make sure you weren't impaired, especially if you caused the accident. They give him a breathalyzer test. He passes the breathalyzer. So apparently, he's not intoxicated, because when you're intoxicated, you have alcohol on your breath and you will blow what they believe is your alcohol blood level through your breath, okay? He passed that test, but for whatever reason, the police still believe that he's not in his right mind. Now, what could that mean? They believe that he must be under some other drug. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to be marijuana, but between marijuana, pills, or whatever else, they feel like he's still impaired. So they ask him to submit to a urine test, which I've never heard that before. Usually once you pass the breathalyzer, usually you don't even get to a breathalyzer. They kind of have you do the rigmarole with the, lift one foot, like they'll give you that test, but they won't go beyond that. They get to a breathalyzer, he passes it, now they ask him to do a urine test. He was alone in the vehicle at the time of the crash, and they said that the Secret Service agents are not letting Tiger Woods, even without the DUI, drive the kids. So apparently his wife is the former wife of Donald Trump Jr., and apparently that woman has kids with Donald Trump Jr., which means that Secret Service is assigned to those kids, and Tiger Woods would come in contact with Secret Service because they got to protect the kids. So they're saying that Woods cannot drive the kids. And President Trump, who's friends with Woods, reacted to the incident saying, I feel so bad. He got some difficulty. There was an accident, and that's all I know. Very close friend of mine. He's an amazing person, amazing man, but some difficulty. They said Vanessa's also reportedly upset with Woods and gave him an ultimatum following the car crash. He has to get things under control, or she's not going to stick around, someone from the Daily Mail reportedly told them. Got to be honest with you, man. It sounds like they're trying to say Tiger Woods is who we think Kodak Black is. Like Tiger off the stuff. And I'm wondering what the real story here is behind it. Obviously, in the last couple of years, he's gotten a lot of unfortunate injuries that has kept him out of being maybe the golfer that he used to be. And maybe he's addicted to some of those drugs that, he's been taking prescription-wise to kind of like help him heal, or maybe even worse, maybe he's taking drugs to kind of numb himself of the mental pain of just not being able to perform anymore. This guy is literally the greatest golfer. Maybe some may say Jack Nicklaus, some may say Rory McIlroy, Rory McIlroy. But people do feel like Tiger Woods' story is a little bit tragic. He hasn't won recently. There's a bunch of times he's missed par. He hasn't made it to the final day of many of these majors or masters or whatever. And it's kind of a sad story. And just the look on his face, I feel like it's like a fall from grace. Remember when he got caught with all those women, his wife left him. He's been going through a tough time, and maybe he's been self-medicating. So that becomes the thing. So that's the whole story. They're saying that, and I watched my man Bradford Cohen, who actually, he was kind of intrigued by this case for a couple of reasons. Listen to what he said about it. Check this out.
All right, let's talk about Tiger Woods and his DUI. He was arrested for a DUI in Jupiter, Florida, which is a little bit north of Fort Lauderdale, a lot north of Miami, and that is where he lives. Allegedly, he was driving a Range Rover. The Range Rover flipped over. There were some pictures of him outside the Range Rover on his phone. There's a mugshot picture of him where they're saying he has red bloodshot eyes, but if you look at the picture above, generally speaking, this kid has red bloodshot eyes. Like, his eyes are not always clear, and that could be because he's out in the sun all the time. There's a lot of different reasons for that. Long story short is they arrest him for a DUI, suspicion of being under the influence of alcohol, allegedly, because they ask him to blow. Surprise, surprise, he blows all zeros. And then, of course, the officer changes the narrative and says, well, he must be under the influence of something, so we'll do a urinalysis. He then refuses to take the urinalysis, and it's a genius idea not to take the urinalysis. Why? The urinalysis will detect anything in your bloodstream for the past 30 days, usually. Marijuana stays for 30 days. Some pills stay for 5 to 7 days. Different kinds of drugs stay in your system for different types of times. And the urinalysis may tell you parts per thousands, but they'll argue whatever it is in your system, that would affect the way that you drive, which we know that is not true, but they'll find an expert to say anything, like the state often does. This is going to be an interesting case. I think personally this is one he needs to fight. It's not one that you need to take a plea on. He has a prior from 2009, so the stakes are a little bit higher when you have a second DUI. It is outside of 10 years. That also makes a difference. So those things put together, I think that he's going to fight it, which he should. And I think that if he does fight it, and
so, yeah, he brings up a good point that I wanted to kind of piggyback off. The point is this. They wanted to do a urine test, but a urine test brings in a lot more than what may have been influencing Tiger Woods that day that he's behind the wheel. So if you get someone in a urine test, it might say, oh, they smoked, but he didn't smoke that day. But if you smoke weed, it could last in your pee, or it could be detected in your pee for like a couple of weeks, I think, or at least a couple of days. So again, that becomes the interesting thing. I'm assuming safely that Tiger's off some stuff. I don't know what it is. It looks like even the president of the United States who commented on it acknowledged that, he has some troubles. They're not saying what it is. Like, is he on some Hunter Biden shit? Is he off some crack? Like, what is it? What type of drug? I'm guessing we'll find out at a later time, but it does feel like everybody around him is kind of protecting him and probably protecting his image. But Tiger Woods is probably a goddamn fiend at this point. And it's kind of sad. But I'm wondering why he's always alone. Why get $1 billion if you can't just get a driver? Even if you want to go, I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Like, if you want to go fuck off on a bunch of random mid-hoes, like, niggas, just get a driver to just drive you back and forth there. Why are you always behind the wheel? I think it's like a second or third time he's been involved in like a crash where people were wondering about the circumstances. So, I don't know. I don't know what life he's living now, but it feels like he's being very he's not being responsible, especially when we think about him being a potential billionaire. I don't know. We'll see. We will see, man. All right. Anyway, chat. I'm gonna call it here for the night. I'm jet lagged a little bit. I just got off a plane. I really haven't even said even hi to my mama or nothing like that. My mama's here, and I'll be back on tomorrow. But I just wanted to give you guys a quick stream. We did go over the J. Cole stuff a bit. We went over Charleston White and Thug. And I quickly touched on two other topics, but we'll get to. I want to do a real sit down of the Jay-Z interview, because we've seen a lot of things with Jay-Z recently. Jay-Z has now made a few announcements of what's going to happen this year, from concerts sold out at Yankee Stadium, some initiatives that supposedly he's pushing. I don't know if you guys heard about it recently. He's done an interview. He's saying he's going on the offensive. What does all of this mean, and what are we supposed to take from it? I'm going to give you guys a breakdown of what I really think, and we're going to analyze his words. Again, not on some, we're trying to go anti everything he says, but I do think the timing here is interesting. Jay hasn't done an interview in a long time. He chose to do one for GQ, and this interview is going to tell us a lot about maybe some questions we have, right? Chat, I'm going to catch you guys tomorrow. I appreciate you. I know some of y'all saying L, but it's 2:20. I just got off a plane. I barely slept. Okay, just give me until tomorrow. Right? Love.